and welcome back to my Keyforge set review. In this video we'll be looking at the Logos house and all of the cards contained within. The first card we'll be looking at is called Bouncing Death Quark. It is an action. It has the play ability, destroy an enemy creature and a friendly creature. You may repeat this effect as many times as you like, and as long as it is possible to repeat the entire effect. This card is brilliant. It's removal. It lets you get rid of your opponent's best things on the field. You can decide how much you get rid of by, committing your own creatures. It's great. You may want to get rid of one thing, sacrifice your worst creature. You may want to get rid of 3 of their things, sacrifice 3 of your creatures. It's a may ability, so you don't have to do it. I really love this card. It's brilliant. Dimension Door is next. It is an action. It has the play ability. For the remainder of the turn, any amber you would gain from reaping is stolen from your opponent instead. So if you're going to be doing a lot of reaping this turn, you play Dimension Door, you punish your opponent. Now if they don't have any amber, this doesn't really do anything. If it actually is bad if they don't have any amber, because then you don't get anything. But if they have an abundance of amber, it will take from them, it will set them back, and it will put you ahead. There is a theme in Logos where it seems to be that punishing your opponent for holding large stockpiles of amber it's a theme that runs through a lot of the cards, so we'll be seeing that sort of effect again and again throughout the rest of the cards. The next card is called Effervescent Principle. It has the play ability, each player loses half of their amber, rounding down the loss, gain 1 chain. So as I said before, this punishes large amber hordes. It's great. If they have loads of amber, it punishes them. If they don't have lots of amber, but you do, it's bad, because then it punishes you. So you want to really be saving this till you're behind, or maybe they're about to craft a key. You play this, you set them back. Obviously you get a chain, which is not great, but it's only 1 chain, so I think that passes the next turn. I think that goes next turn. So yeah. Fog of Fire is next. It is an action. It gives you an amber when you play it, and it has the play ability. Your opponent cannot use creatures to fight on the next turn. If they've got a really strong board state, you play this, you shut them down, give yourself some breathing space, and yeah, you basically make it so you can't be attacked by their creatures. If they don't have any creatures that doesn't really do anything, it just protects you, but it also gives you an amber. It gives you time. It's a good card. Help from Future Self is next. It is an action. It gives you 1 amber when you play it, and it has the play ability. Search your deck and discard pile for a time traveler, reveal it and put it into your hand. Shuffle your discard pile into your deck. It is a special card, I believe, and it is in conjunction with the time traveler card. If you get one of them, I think you get the other one in your deck guaranteed. I'm not 100% certain on that, but I think that's how it works. Yeah, with Time Traveler this works fantastically. You play your Time Traveler in the game, you then later on in the game you play this, and then you get your Time Traveler back, and then you play your Time Traveler, you play your Time Traveler again, and so on and so on. Yeah, really neat card, gives you an amber when you play it. I think there's probably some massive combo you can do with 2 of these and 2 Time Travelers. I think you can just get infinite amber, maybe. I'm not certain, but I think that probably will work. Yeah, really neat card. It's a special one though, so you might not see it in every deck, or, well, you'll probably hardly ever see it, but when you do, it'd be really fun to play with. Next card is called Interdimensional Graft. It gives you 1 amber when you play it. It is an action, and it has the play ability. If an opponent forges a key on their next turn, they must give you their remaining amber. So if you know they're going to make a key, when they check, you play this, then they go, oh great, and say if they have 2 or 3 amber on top of the 6 that they already have for their key, you get it. If they only have 6 amber and then you play this, you don't get anything, you just get the amber for playing it. So again, as with some other cards like Effervescent Principle and Dimension Door, it punishes large hordes of amber. Knowledge is Power is next. It's an action card, and it has the play ability. Choose 1, archive a card, or for each archive card you have, you gain 1 amber. I like this. Yeah, it plays into another theme of the Logos cards, which is archiving. So archiving is you put the cards into a separate pile that you can access at any time, that you can access your hand. So basically you can put cards in an archive, save them for a later turn, and then suddenly you might have 12 cards you can play from, which is really useful. And if you already have an archive built up, you can play this, claim a couple of amber and put yourself ahead. It's very useful it's a very combo card with the rest of the Logos cards. I like this one. Lab Work is next. It is an action. It gives you an amber when you play it, and it has the playability archive a card. So as I said before, play this, set something aside for a future turn, get the amber from it. Very neat card. Library Access is next. It is an action. It has the playability for the remainder of the turn. Each time you play another card, draw a card. This is my favourite common in Logos. It's one of my favourite commons in the game. You could potentially play dozens and dozens of cards off the back of this in one turn. You play a card, draw another. Play another, draw another. You draw a Logos one, you play that. You draw another Logos one, you play it. It could really spiral out of control. There's a lot of combo potential with this, and I really enjoy it. Library Access is fantastic. Neurosiphon is next. It is an action. It gives you 1 amber when you play it. Here's the playability. If your opponent has more amber than you, steal 1 and draw a card. So again, as I mentioned before, this punishes people who like to hoard their amber, or take more than they need to make a key. You take the amber off them, you get 1 for playing the card, and you draw a card if they're ahead. If not, you only get the 1 amber for playing it, so you want to save it for when they have a lot of amber. But then by doing that, you're letting them get a load of amber, which is never good, because it gets them nearer to their win condition, which is making the keys. So it's good, but only if they're ahead, and if they're ahead, then it's good, but you're behind, so it's not a good situation to be in. Yeah, it's an okay card, and it has the potential to be a good card, but not a great card. Phase Shift is next. It is an action. It has the playability. You may play 1 non-Logos card this turn. So this lets you access your other houses when you are locked into Logos for the turn. I don't know how multiples of it work, because it says you may play 1 non-Logos card. So you play this, you play, I don't know, you play a discard, and then you play another one of these phase shifts. Maybe you have 2 in your hand. Can you then play another non-Logos card? Or are you stuck into only playing the 1, because this says you may play 1, it doesn't say you may play A. So yeah, I don't know how this works with multiples, but it lets you access other houses. It's good. Positron Bolt is next. It is an action. It gives you 1 amber when you play it, and it has the playability: deal 3 damage to a flank creature, deal 2 to its neighbour, deal 1 to the second creature's other neighbour. So it's like a big spear that goes through your enemy's battle line. It gives you 1 amber when you play it, which is always useful. It can possibly take out 3 things and give you an amber. In the best case scenario, in the worst case scenario, it does lots of damage to their things, which is always useful. If you have multiples of these, you could probably clear through the whole battle line. I really think this card is good. It has a high, how can I put it? The potential for this card is massive. It could do a lot. Could do not a lot, but it will always do something. Random Access Archives is next. It is a action. It gives you 1 amber when you play it, and it has the playability: archive the top card of your deck. I don't like this card because it's a rare. Basically, you play this, you archive the top card of your deck, and you get 1 amber. That's it. If it was an artifact and you could do it every turn, I would be a lot happier with this card. I think it would be a lot better. I think you're basically not doing enough for a rare. It doesn't seem that good to me. I don't think this is a good card, and at a rare, it's really quite sad. If you get this, you might be unhappy. Remote Access is next. It is an action card. It gives you 1 amber when you play it, and it has the playability: use an opponent's artifacts if it were yours. So this punishes opponents who have lots of artifacts, or maybe really powerful artifacts, and yeah, it turns them against them. Now, if they have artifacts that maybe, I don't know, have strange effects, or they aren't really beneficial to your house, then it's useless. If they don't have any artifacts, it's useless. If they, this could take from them their best thing and use it against them. It could be amazing, or they might not have anything and it's just a dead card in your hand, and they might never play an artifact. They probably will, but it could do nothing for a long time. Reverse Time is next. It is an action. It gives you 1 amber when you play it, and it has the playability: swap your deck in your discard pile, then shuffle your deck. Useless turn 1, but better later the game goes. If you've used all your good cards and you want them back, you Yeah, if you know you've got this in your deck, you play all your good cards all through the game. They then obviously go to your discard pile throughout the game. You then play reverse time. You get all of your good cards back into your hand, into your deck, and you get rid of all of your non-good cards, your weaker cards. They go in your discard pile. So then you know your deck is nothing but good stuff. So then you can combo out with things like the library access card, and then you can just play through tons and tons of cards and combo out. This has a lot of combo potential. I really like this card. At a rare, we're not going to see it very often, but I think, you know, it's a lot better than random access archives for a rare. It has a lot more potential. Scrambler Storm is next. It is an action card. It gives you 1 amber when you play it, and it has the playability your opponent cannot play action cards on their next turn. I think this is better than Fogify because action cards seem to be more prevalent. They seem to affect the game more than creatures. Yeah, this shuts them down. It's a denial of the ability to play the game, which is always useful. You get an amber when you play it, which is good. And if they've got a handful of actions, they can't do anything. Really good card. Sloppy Lab Work is next. It is an action. It gives you 1 amber when you play it, and it has the playability: archive a card, discard a card. This card is okay. Simply put, it's okay. It combos in with some other things because it lets you archive cards. So in combination with Knowledge is Power, for example, you can get an amber off it later on from your archive stuff. You can set up for a big turn later on with your archived things. Downside is you have to discard something, which is iffy. If you've got a really good hand, and then you have to discard something good, which is it feels bad. But you get an amber for playing it, which is okay. It's combo card. It's not great, but in the right deck, it might do a lot of work. Next card is called Twin Bolt Emission. It is an action. It gives you 1 amber when you play it, and it has the playability: deal 2 damage to a creature, deal 2 to a different creature. So this is double removal. Yeah, this is simply put. It could kill 2 things and get you an amber. It could kill 1 thing, get you an amber. It might kill no things and get you an amber, but do some damage to some things. Yeah, this could be a 2-for-1 with amber or not, but it's good. Wild Wormhole is next with amazing art. It gives you an amber when you play it. It's an action and it has the playability: play the top card of your deck. So, if you know what the top card of your deck is going to be, and you know it's good, you can play it. It might be the worst card in your deck, and you might play this and you might feel sad, but it could be amazing. It could let you access a card from another house that you might not have been able to play this turn. There's a lot of randomness in this card, which is interesting. Randomness that can always be exploited in some way. Yeah, this potentially could be amazing. This potentially could be the worst card ever because you might play something terrible and lose the game. But yeah, I like it. There's a lot of what ifs. Anomaly Exploiter is the first artifact of Logos. It has the action ability: destroy a damaged creature. This is strong, actually. In combination with cards like Twin Bolt Emission, this card is wonderful. You play this after you've used your Twin Bolt Emission, use the action, and you destroy something. Great. That's great. It's what you want to be doing. Chaos Portal is next. It is an artifact. It has the action ability: choose a house, reveal the top card of your deck. If it is of that house, play it. So, like Wild Wormhole, this card lets you play something from the top of your deck. Obviously, this one is, I believe you can do multiple times. You don't get the amber for having it, but you can repeat the process over and over again. So you could potentially get, a couple of things off top of your deck. It could whiff. You might not play anything. You could guess wrong 5 or 6 times in a row and feel ridiculously sad, or you could guess right 3 or 4 times in a row and wipe the floor with your opponent. Who knows? It's a rare, so you're not going to get it all the time. It adds an element of uncertainty. There's a bit of randomness to this house as well, which I quite like. Crazy Killing Machine is next. It's an artifact, and it has the action ability: discard the top card of each player's deck. For each of those cards, destroy a creature or artifact of that card's house, if able. If 2 are not destroyed as a result of this, if 2 cards are not destroyed as a result of this, Destroy crazy killing machine. This could go nuts. Basically, each turn, this could just kill 2 things every turn, and it could potentially happen endlessly. I don't really. I think this card works better in conjunction with other houses. So this has a lot of cards that give you benefits when they're destroyed. So this card in combination with this cards could produce some amazing combinations and results. I think it's one of them cards that you have to see and play to see how strong it is. But there's a lot going on with this one, and I'd be interested to see how it plays in the game. Library of Babel is next. It is an artifact. It has the action ability, draw a card. Great. Draw a card. So you play this and draw a card. And then next turn, draw a card. And then the next turn you draw a card. It's just great. It's just an extra card every turn. Good. I like it. Very, very good. Common. You get a couple of these out on the field. Suddenly you gain an extra 2 cards a turn. It's very nice. It plays into the card draw side of Logos. Mobius Scroll is next. It is an artifact. It has the action ability, archive Mobius Scroll and up to 2 cards from your hand. So this is like a combo in a box. You play Mobius Scroll, you wait till you draw the 2 cards that you really want, or you play it when you've got 2 cards that you really want in your hand to save for later. You then archive the 3 of them all together, and then when you use your archive, you've got your combo already set away in your archive, and you just go to town. You could win from there. I like this card because it has a lot of potential. There's a lot of things you could potentially do with it as combos get figured out, as you learn your deck and you know what you want to be doing. Yeah, really neat card. I really love this card. Pocket Universe is next. It's an artifact. It has the ability... It has the ability, you may spend amber on Pocket Universe when forging keys. Action, move 1 amber from your pool to Pocket Universe. So... this card is kind of like a fail-safe. So there's a lot of cards that let you take your opponent's amber. You can basically put your amber onto this card and sort of like put it away for safekeeping. If they don't have any artifact removal, this is safer than if they take it from you. Obviously, if they destroy your artifact, then you lose all of that amber. So there's a bit of a risk there, but if you don't think they've got any artifact removal, you can just safely put your amber into this card and then use it as like a bit of a little, sort of like a backup, like a safety vault. Interesting card. Could potentially cost you the game if they destroy it and you've got a lot of stuff on it, a lot of amber on it. But yeah, there's a lot of, if they don't have a way to deal with it, then you're sort of in a good place. Spangler Box is next. It is an artifact. It has the action ability, purge a creature in play. If you do, your opponent gains control of Spangler Box. If Spangler Box leaves play, return to play all cards purged by Spangler Box. There's a lot going on here. Basically, you just get rid of something from the game, so you pick their biggest threat and you get rid of it. But when you do that, they get it. So then they'll use it on you. And then they'll get rid of your biggest threat. But then you get back the card. So it's a mirrored card, but you get the benefit of it first, I believe, because you play this, and then you get the first use of the purging. So you clear their best thing, then you do what you need to do in your turn, and then they get access to it on their turn. So you actually get the benefit of this card before they do. They get it eventually, but if you can time this right, you'll get the most out of it. If it leaves the field, caveat is interesting. I reckon you could purge your own stuff, and then somehow destroy Spangler Box, and then get all your stuff back and make some amazing combo, or you can destroy this. There's a lot of potential again with this card. It's very combo-y. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Sadly, it's a rare. I'd like to see this quite often because it seems really cool. Spectral Tunneler is next. It is an artifact. It gives you an amber when you play it, and it has the action ability. Choose a creature. For the remainder of the turn, that creature is considered a flank creature and gains Reap, draw a card. So this is basically in a way you can gain a card, draw a card every turn. You can give it to your least powerful creature, or your creature that's already done its thing. Maybe it has a come into play ability and it doesn't really do anything else. You use this, and then suddenly that creature is relevant. You can make it relevant all throughout the rest of the game. Very, very versatile card. I do like this one. At an uncommon as well, you're going to get it fairly often, and it gives your creature the flank bonus, which is always useful. Strange Gizmo is next. It is an artifact. It gives you 1 amber when you play it, and it has the ability, after you forge a key, destroy each creature and artifact. Oh man, so I don't know what I feel about this. This basically just resets the board every time you craft a key, which seems bad, to be honest, because obviously when you craft a key, you want to craft another one, but then you want to be using your creatures on the field to craft another one, but then they're all gone. So this sort of lets your opponent potentially get back into the game, which seems a bit daft. It seems very combo-y, like a lot of these Logos cards. Obviously, if you can set this up in a certain way, you can probably, craft a key, blow everything up, but then you've got another, you've got an action that you then play, and then, yeah, who knows? This could be really interesting. The Howling Pit is next. We'll just go back to Strange Gizmo for a second. I missed an easy combo. Spangler Box. So you purge all of your good things with Spangler Box throughout the game. Or you purge like 2 or 3 good things, right? You then use your Strange Gizmo, you make a key, everything gets blown up, but then you get your 3 creatures back from a Spangler Box and you're ahead. That's the only combo I can think of off the top of my head at the minute, but it could work. Anyway, the Howling Pit is next. It is an artifact. It gives you 1 amber when you play it, and it has the ability, during their draw card step, each player refills their hand to 1 additional card. So similar to Howling Mine from Magic the Gathering, I think it's sort of the same sort of theme. Both players get an extra card. Yeah, it's mirrored, so obviously they get a benefit as well. But if you know you can do more with your extra card, or if you want to archive things, this could be really useful. It'll make the games have more variety, I guess, but the downside is you give your opponent more sort of opportunity to do things as well. Bat Drone is the first creature we'll be looking at. It is a 2-power creature with no armor. It has Skirmish. When you use this creature to fight, it is dealt no damage in return, and it has the fight ability, steal 1 amber. So Skirmish is very strong, keeps your thing alive when you're attacking. When they're attacking, it's quite weak, it'll die, but you gain an amber when you attack with it. So you probably get at least 1 amber from it, and then it dies. Yeah, common. It's about what you'd expect, really. If you've got a way to keep it alive, if you play this and then you somehow attack and then you Fogify, you could get more amber out of it. If you've got multiples, you could do a lot more with it. It could do more, but it's pretty common. Brain Eater is next. It is a creature. It has 6 power, no armor. It's a cyborg beast, and after a creature is destroyed fighting Brain Eater, you draw a card. You literally eat a brain and you get a card from it. I like this. It's 6 power, so it's definitely going to kill a couple of things. You're probably going to get 1 or 2 cards of this. If you have a way of healing it, you could get, an endless supply of things. Look at this more as a creature that has the potential to draw you like 2 or 3 cards. It's probably going to get you definitely 1. It might get you 2, could potentially get you 3, but that's, over the course of a few turns. But it's a nice card, uncommon. Yeah, I like Brain Eater. Dextra is next. It is a 3-power creature with no armor. It's a human scientist, and it has the play ability, capture 1 amber, and it has the destroyed ability, put Dexter on top of your deck. This guy seems like a pain in the bum. You kill him, he comes back a few turns later or a turn later. He's constantly going to be capturing amber. Unless you have a way to purge him, he's just going to keep coming back, which is good for you, bad for your opponent. However, if your opponent, can deal with it, the problem is you're just going to keep drawing this card. So I don't know, if your opponent has a really reliable way to deal with deal with Dexter every turn, then it might not be very good. If they don't have a way to deal with him, he's going to be a real pain. They're going to really struggle to get rid of him. Doc Bookton is next. It is a 5-power creature with human scientist, and it has the Reap ability. Draw a card. 5 power is quite strong. Being able to draw a card when you reap is useful. Yeah, I like this card. 5 power is quite strong and common as well, so good. Dr. Escodella is next. It is a 4-power creature, cyborg scientist, and it's the play ability. Gain 1 amber for each forged key your opponent has. So this lets you catch up. It might not do anything early game. It won't do anything apart from just be a 4-power creature. If they get ahead, it does more. If they get really far ahead and you've got a couple of these on the field, wow, then if they've got 2 keys, and you have 1 or 2 of these out, you can get 4 amber. But he's only good when you're behind, really. But it lets you catch up. So I like cards that let you catch up. They won't feel good when you're playing him on turn 1, but he's a 4-power body, so yeah. Dysania is next. It is a 4-power creature. It has no armor, is a mutant, and has the play ability. Your opponent discards each of their archived cards. You gain 1 amber for each card discarded this way. Now this seems very anti-Logos. So if you're in a mirror matchup and they are archiving a lot of stuff, you play this and you blow them out and absolutely make them cry. Probably won't do much to other houses. I think Mars has a lot of archiving. So it punishes Mars as well, to be honest. But, at the end of the day, he's a 4-power creature. That might just be a vanilla 4-power creature, or it might just really ruin their day. I like this card. Yeah, very anti-Logos, very anti-Mars. Very good. Ganymede Archivist is next. Is a 3-power creature. He's a human scientist, and he has the Reap ability, Archive a card. So, again, fitting in with Logos, archiving things. Yeah, that's what you want to be doing. 3 power is quite weak, but that ability is quite strong. It can really set you up for big combos. I like it. Excuse me. Harland Mindlock is next. Is a 1-power creature. Is a cyborg scientist, and it has the play ability. Take control of an enemy flank creature until Harland Mindlock leaves play. So you basically take one of their best things, probably. It's a flank creature though, so it might not be, you don't really get the choice, but you get this. Is this kind of like play a creature and take one of their things? Interesting. Doesn't really help with your archiving. Doesn't really help you getting amber. It might be something terrible, or it might be the best card on the field. Pretty random. It punishes them if they set up their board wrong. Yeah, interesting card. Very weak though. He'll probably die the turn after you play him, and then they'll get their thing back. So I don't know. Unless you can really do something with it in that one turn, doesn't seem that good. Quixo the Adventurer is next. He's a 3-power creature, human scientist with no armor. He has the skirmish ability, so when you use this creature to a fight, it's dealt no damage in return. And he has the fight ability, draw a card. Yeah, like this. Could net you a couple of cards. He keeps himself safe when he attacks. I like it. Common as well, so you're going to see him quite a lot. Mother is next. Is a 5-power creature of no armor, robot scientist. During your draw a card step, refill your hand to 1 additional card. Nice. Again, multiples of this are going to be brilliant, because then I think you can get... I don't know if the abilities stack. If they do, you're going 7, 8, 9 cards. You could really get a hand. Yeah, this is just a 5-power common creature with upside, which is really nice. Neutron Shark is next. Is 1-power creature, beast mutant with no armor. It has the play, fight, and reap ability. Destroy an enemy creature or artifact and a friendly creature or artifact. Discard the top card of your deck. If that card is not a Logos card, trigger this card effect again. This could do a lot. It's mirrored, so it kills a lot of things. You're going to lose a lot of your creatures to it, which isn't good. unfortunately, it does the most stuff when you have the most creatures out or the most artifacts out. It could potentially get through, plenty of creatures and artifacts. I'm iffy on this card. Could do a lot, could really mess up people's plans, but also it affects both sides of the field, so we'll see. And 1 power is very weak as well, so it'll probably die the turn after you play him. Novu Archaeologist is next. It is a 4-power creature with no armor. It's a crit cyborg scientist, and it has the action ability archive a card from your discard pile. So you play a really good card, it dies or it just goes to the discard pile. You play this card later on, put that card back in your archive, and then you can set it up to use a really good combo later on. If you have 2 of these, you can just infinitely play them when they die, which is really neat. Or you can just set up a really nice combo. This card has a lot of potential to do a lot of neat things with. I really like this card. Osmo the Martianologist is next. It's a 2-power creature with no armor, human scientist. It has elusive, so the first time this creature is attacked each turn, no damage is dealt. And it has the fight and reap ability, heal 3 damage from a Mars creature or stun a Mars creature. So if you have no Mars in your deck, this is useless. If they have no Mars in their deck, this is useless. If they have some Mars, you can stun it, I guess. But if no one has any Mars in their decks, this card is crap. Basically, he buffs your Mars stuff, or he punishes their Mars stuff. That's it. Neat if you've got Mars, terrible if you don't. Yeah, at rare as well. Psychic Bug is next. It is a 2-power creature. It gives you 1 amber when you play it, and it is a cyborg insect. It is the play and reap ability. Look at your opponent's hand. So, if you want to know what your opponent can do, play this. Then you see all their options, and then you can decide your best course of action for the turn from there. I like this card. Intel is always useful. It lets you know 6 of their cards. Well, we only got 36 or 37 cards in the deck. I can't remember. You're learning like a 1/6 of their deck in one turn. Very useful. And it gives you an amber when you play it. It's a good card. Fortunately, it's a rare, but I think it's a useful rare. It'll always give you useful information. Replicator is next. It's a 2-power creature. It is a mutant, and it has the reap ability. Trigger the reap effect of another creature in play as if you control that creature. So if they have a really strong reap ability, you can use it against them. If you have another really strong reap ability, you can use it. This card, could be really good. Double your really good reap effects, or take theirs and use it against them. I like this card. Research Smoko is next. It is a 2-power creature. It is a mutant, and it has the destroyed ability. Archive the top card of your deck. Yep. Play this early. Let it get destroyed. Put a card in your archive. Now you don't know what that card's going to be, but whatever it is going to be useful later on. Yeah, it's okay. It's going to die. When it dies, it gives you a benefit. Nice. Skippy Time Hog is next. It is a 1-power creature. It is a mutant, and it has play. Your opponent cannot use any cards next turn. Love it. Basically, you get 2 turns in a row. If they have no creatures, you get 2 turns in a row. If they have creatures, obviously they can still fight. Oh, hang on. Cards can still be played and discarded. Not quite as good when I've read that. So they can still play cards. They just can't use the abilities, I guess. Or use their creatures to fight. I don't know. That I'll need to read into that one more. Not quite as good as I thought it was going to be straight away. But yeah, limiting their options is always useful. Shame it's only 1 power. Shame it's a rare, but I can see why it's a rare. It's a strong effect. Time Traveler is next. This is the special card that is, I don't think he's the special card. I think the other one is the special card. This one is the other piece of the puzzle. He gives you 1 amber when you play him. He has a 2-power creature. He's a human scientist. He has no armor. He has the playability, draw 2 cards. Brilliant. He has the action ability, shuffle Time Traveler into your deck. So you play him, you draw 2 cards, and then use his action, put him back in your deck, get him later on, you get your amber for. This is fantastic. This is an amazing rare. This is a lovely rare. If you get this in your deck, you'd be really happy because it lets you do so much. He recurs himself. He gets you an amber when you come in. This card does a lot of things, and it's really, really good. It probably is top 3 cards in Logos. Definite. Titan Mechanic is next. It is a 6-power creature. It has no armor. It is a cyborg scientist, and it has, while Titan Mechanic is on the flank, each creature costs -1. So obviously this is dependent on your setup. If you put him on the flank, then he's really good, because then he'll just make you, your keys cheaper, which is always useful. He's common as well, so look at this as makes your keys cost 5, and he's a 6-power body. I like this card. It's for a common, it does a lot. It basically makes it so you don't have to get 18 amber to make 3 keys. You only have to get 15. Multiples of this are good. 3 of these are not good. There's like diminishing returns once you get past 2. But if you can have 2 of these up, then your keys only cost 4. Then you can really, do well. Vespilon Theorist is next. Is a 2-power creature. It has no armor, and it is a cyborg scientist. It has the elusive ability. So again, the first time this creature is attacked each turn, no damage is dealt. And it's the Reap ability. Choose a house. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it is of that house, archive it and gain 1 amber. Otherwise, discard it. If you have a way of knowing what the card is on top of your deck, and use the Reap ability on this, then you can manipulate that and play around that. If you don't, and it's totally random, you've got like a 1 in 3 chance of getting it right. You might also not want it archived, but if you do archive it, you get a bonus. So yeah, if you get it wrong though, you can discard it. You might discard your best thing in the deck, and it'll make you really sad. I don't know. I think if you have a way to look at the top card of your deck, or know what the top card of your deck is, this card is amazing. It's unbelievable. Unless you have a way of doing that, it's really iffy. Valen Analyst is next. Is a 2-power creature. It has no armor. It's a cyborg scientist, and has each time you use an artifact, you gain 1 amber. There's quite a lot of artifacts in this house, which are really useful. I like this card. It gives you amber just for playing your artifacts. You're going to be playing them anyway. Yeah, good card. 2 power is very weak. Can easily be killed, but if you play this and then play 2 or 3 artifacts, you get 2 or 3 amber, plus whatever amber they give you when you play them. Yeah, I like this card. Experimental Therapy is the first of 3 upgrade cards. It has this creature belongs to all houses, and it has the playability stun and exhaust this creature. So you use this card on your best creature that you want to use every turn, but when you play it, it can't do anything this turn, if that makes sense. So you sacrifice a turn of using your best thing, or your the thing you want to use every turn, but then you can use it for the rest of the game every single turn, which is great. The trade-off seems fair. It seems balanced, and yeah, there's a lot of if you've got a lot of good cards from other houses that you want to use every turn, but you want to keep using your Logos cards, this is great. Yeah, I like this card. It seems balanced. Rocket Boots is next. Is an upgrade. It has this creature gains Fight and Reap. If this is the first time this creature was used this turn, ready it. Yeah, so I think this basically, lets you use your creature when it comes into play. Useful. Combine that with Experimental Therapy, I think, and I think it works. It lets you attack straight away. Play something massive and then play Rocket Boots. Yeah, I like this card. Transposition Sandals is the final Logos card. It's an upgrade. It gives you 1 amber when you play it, and has this creature gains action. Swap this creature with another friendly creature in that battle line. You may use that other creature this turn. So in combination with things like Titan Mechanic, this lets you shift around your battle line to benefit you. It messes with things, it does things with the flanks. If you know they've got a lot of stuff that targets your flanks, you can put the appropriate thing to your flank, and there's a lot of interesting things you can do with this. Yeah, basically, Titan mechanic is probably the thing that's jumping out at me the most that you want to use this with. You can make sure he's always on the flanks, which is always useful, and you're always getting his ability. If you don't really have anything, you just put on anything ready, you get an amber. There's a lot you can do with it. You know, chances are it won't often make much of a difference, but combined with the right thing like Titan mechanic, you know, it'll be really useful, and you get the amber for playing it. So yeah, this is right. That appears to be the last Logos card. I like Logos. Well, I know I've said this about every house so far, but I really like the way the archiving works. I like the way you punish your opponent for having lots of amber. I enjoy this house. I think it's similar to blue from Magic the Gathering. There's a lot of card draw. There's a lot of not control as much, but there is a lot of card drawing and manipulation, and you know, you can have massive combo turns and just win from there. I like the theme of the house. I really like the sort of mad science cyborgs sort of theme they've got going on. I think this is a really strong house. Yeah, I'm very happy with these cards. The next house we will be looking at in the following video in part 4 is Mars. Stay tuned for that. If you have any comments about this house, please let me know down below. Let me know what I got wrong, what cards you're looking forward to getting from this house. If you have already got Logos in your decks, you know, what cards have been outstanding for you? What have you really enjoyed using? What has been underwhelming to you maybe? Yeah, so let me know down below. Let me know what I got right, what I got wrong. Leave a like if you liked the video, subscribe if you want to see more of these videos, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one, the Mars house. Thanks for watching, see you soon, bye.